I'm Jam. If you're new around here, I make TTRPG postcard dungeons and stickers every month for Patreon. And sometimes I get into other crafty stuff. In this video, we're going to explore a dungeon made for that light-hearted summer session. That session many long-running campaigns look forward to. This is the beach episode. To start, let's draw and talk about the main two characters who are leading the charge in this scenario. We have Ordana and Caellos. First up, this is Ordana. They're a lifeguard and the leader of Team Order. While she genuinely wants everyone to enjoy the beach, she believes in safety first for the greater good of everyone. Ordana is quick to remind others that rules exist for a reason. You'll find her overseeing the beach from the lifeguard tower, or walking up and down the beach reminding visitors to avoid littering or kicking up sand. Next is the leader of Team Chaos. Caellos is a life-loving party girl who loves to celebrate in excess and indulgence. She believes the beach belongs to no one, and that it should be as chaotic and free as it is sunny. In spite of what some people believe, too much fun and sunshine doesn't exhaust Caellos. She thrives in it. Just as a little bonus, here's a sketch of one more character. I really wanted to make this dungeon have 3 factions, but there was no way to fit all that on a postcard. So for now, just enjoy this dude who is so proud of their little sandcastle. With the sticker art done, I take them over to Silhouette Studio and carefully arrange them. Then it's just print and cut. Let's map it out. To start on the map, I worked out a very rough sketch. The plan was to create a bunch of beach fodder that could make up the quote-unquote walls of this dungeon. So I drew umbrellas and gave them a few different colors. I also made beach balls. For the events and mini-games, I made a volleyball net and some fun sandcastles. For Team Chaos, I made a large party tent setup, and this is going to be their base of operations. No wild party is complete without some scattered bottles and rubbish. I also made some different towels to scatter around. I had fun erasing some corners and edges of the towels so they can look partially buried in the sand. Next, I made some little merchant stands because a popular beach ought to have a seaside market. And now that we have a place to buy melons, we needed a place on the map to smash them. So I drew a big old stump with a broken piñata, baseball bats, and some already smashed watermelons. After that, I started adding texture and shading to the sand and coloring in the waves. But I did almost forget Ordana's very important lifeguard tower, so I went back and made that. And then I just re-added shadows beneath it. For the very final detail, I added some white textured brush strokes to all the pathways to help highlight them. And now it's time for layout. First, I made sure the map art fit on the postcard, including the bleed zone and around the edge. I wanted to push the umbrella walls a little farther, so I copy and pasted more umbrellas along the border of the page. Next, I just added text for all the landmarks. So I made an empty curve and I placed art text on it. I went for a fun and silly looking font, and with that label made, I just copy and pasted it and put it wherever I needed it. With the map side mostly taken care of, it's time for more text boxes and putting words in them. There was a lot of text to go in this one. It turned out pretty tight and cozy, but believe it or not, we got there in the end. Let me be a little real with y'all. Doing layout on a bitty postcard is the part that makes me sweat. It's kind of tricky sometimes. Like, okay, sometimes I struggle with the writing part. It takes me so many hours, plus breaks, because to kind of keep up my creative energy, I like to rotate between projects, and that makes it really hard to record. So that's why you don't see very much of the writing process with a lot of these. I've got lots of ideas, but just turning the brain juice into words that other people can comprehend. That's the hard part for me sometimes, but it's the layout part that makes me sweat. Because I do have backup with the writing. Nova helps out a lot with the editing aspects. We do a lot of brainstorming together on these dungeons too, so they're very collaborative. And yeah, who else out here making creative things with their significant others? Shout out your favorite hubbies and wives and thighs in the comments. Hell yeah! By this point, it was very apparent I wasn't going to be able to fit the entire character art pieces I made, but I was determined to at least squeeze them in bust-up portrait style. So I put their blurbs in their own little text boxes and dropped in the art. With some careful cropping and wrapping, I got them to fit just between the introduction and the order versus chaos paragraph. To add more interest, I made some lines to border the text for each of the minigames. I come back to add color to these later. Next, I went back to the characters and added an abstract silly shape to frame the text with their paired portraits. And I added some rectangles to put behind blocks of text and added colors to those headers. For the final touches, I made a colorful title design for the dungeon and I added credits. That's all. It's time to see the goodies all together now. I think this postcard dungeon turned out super fun, and I think it has a lot of room for summertime beach episode shenanigans. A cool thing about this dungeon is that it leads up to multiple ending scenarios, and it really depends on if either Team Chaos or Team Order has the most influence on the party members' actions. By the way, I gotta know which characters are your favorites to play. Are you chaotic, lawful, neutral? Which team do you want to be on? Let's see, if I had to pick, I like chaos. But I like chaos because I like consequences. Chaos is my favorite because I love meeting the consequences. I don't know what that says about me. Remember to like and subscribe if you had a nice time. It means so much for this tiny dungeon channel. Ta-ta for now.